Edge online, so let's try a couple games with it. I've got an introduction in another video, so I'll make sure to add that to the same playlist, and let's see what we can do. Loading. Please wait. Yveltal Garbodor seems to be a very good matchup for this deck. Um, I really haven't run into a deck other than the Blastoise Keldeo Black Kyurem EX deck that can sometimes be a scary matchup, but let us see what we go up against, and maybe we'll see something competitive, maybe not, but you will see what I am seeing and how I think through the match. Okay, so T-Tix It is our opponent. I will go with heads as I always do, and I do get the opportunity to play first. So I have no basics, but my hand will give my deck away. This is a tough call. So Pikachu seems like the best thing to leave out front, considering I have the DC in my hand. Now let's see what our opponent does. What kind of deck are we playing against? I will wait to bench both of my Pokemon, but they will be hitting the bench, because it's probable I'm going to be using a Sycamore. So we see a Giratina. Interesting. Okay. So we're going to put down a Yveltal, another Pikachu. We're going to put a DCE on the Pikachu that is in the active spot. We're going to Hypnotoxic Laser, hoping for a heads flip and missing. And then we're going to go ahead and Professor Sycamore because we don't mind that dark energy being in our discard pile. This leaves us in a pretty interesting spot. I am of the mindset that it would be okay to go ahead and get rid of both those dark energies. We'll go ahead and get a Darkrai with that. And that will leave us in a pretty good position for our next turn. We can't attack turn 1, so we'll leave it to our opponent. I would much rather have a supporter in my hand at this point, but I could also get end. So we see a Mew EX come down, and an Ultra Ball, discarding Water Energy. So let's see what we have in our opponent's. Discarding Water and Psychic. Interesting. Getting a Keldeo EX. Interesting. Okay. So he leaves that in his active spot, which opens up a lot of opportunities for us. We're going to go ahead and evolve our Raichu, and we have tons of darkness energy in our bin, our discard pile. And this gives us the opportunity to go ahead and Shauna. We can get another Keldeo so that our Raichu will be able to hit a little bit harder, but not quite hard enough. And we have some ends coming up, so let's see what happens from here. Energy retrieval, sure. Water and Psychic. Interesting. So I think we put a Darkness Energy on the Darkrai. Yeah, because we have 3 in our discard. My opponent has 4 cards in hand, so this is not an optimal time to end. We put a muscle band on the Yveltal and go ahead and circle circuit for the first knockout of the game. And let us see what my opponent's response will be. Energy Surge. Getting the last water energy so that he can Secret Sword for a probable knockout. 50, 60, you should be able to knock out that Raichu with no problem. Tool Scrapper to get rid of the muscle band on my Yveltal. Absolutely permissible. And we get a 110 knockout on that Raichu, so my opponent can collect 1 prize. Oh, very good, very good. So we want to drop the Yveltal EX. We have plenty of energy in our discard piles, so there's no real reason to add more to it, considering we only have 2 left in our deck. And that thing's going to be hitting for a 110. Could possibly be higher than that post. You'll see, I'm sure. So we get the Professor Sycamore and draw a new hand of 7 cards. We can go ahead and add the muscle band back to the Yveltal, but is that our best play in this spot? It does not look like it. We're going to put the muscle band on our benched Yveltal. We're going to Oblivion Wing. And we're going to add one of those energies to our Darkrai. So let's see how he can respond from here. If he adds another water energy to his Keldeo, then he will be able to knock out my Yveltal, and that will then allow his Keldeo EX to be knocked out by my Yveltal EX. That's an XP, sure. We may as well go ahead and Tool Scrapper that. Make sure that he gains as little as possible from this. Put that there. Drop another Yveltal EX, Verbank City Gym, and Shauna. We get another muscle band that we can add here. A Raichu, a non-EX Yveltal, and then a Bicycle for 3 cards, which will allow us to use a Dark Patch to add to our Darkrai. That wouldn't be quite enough for a knockout, so it's important that we go ahead and use the Evil Ball here to get that knockout. We collect 2 prizes, and we now have a 1 prize lead against a Mew EX, a 5 card hand, and nothing really important seeming to go on for my opponent. So he is under an immense amount of pressure. If he does nothing, I can attach that DCE, Hypnotoxic Laser, and use Darkrai to take the win. If he has an in, that would be good here, but he definitely needs to have some type of counter to what I've put forth. If he doesn't have another Pokemon, then this will be the end of the game. Alright, well, it was a good game while it lasted to my opponent, and I wish you the best of the luck in the future. Good game, sir. So, let's see if we can go up against a more traditional Tier 1 ranked deck with my Yveltal deck. And my opponent actually has the advantage. But I do get to go first. always beneficial. Not the best when you're leading with a Darkrai, but I feel confident with it we can work around that. So let us see what we have here. We have another Mew EX and a Zubat. Interesting collection of Pokemon here. It may not seem intuitive, but considering I don't have a discard outlet or another Pokemon down, I'm going to need to go ahead and Shauna. Alright, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to see. I'll use a Bicycle, get another Yveltal down. Yveltal, sorry. And my opponent wakes, so let us see what he can do with that. Tierno. Oh, it's got the safeguarded Sigilif. Okay. Getting another Zubat, sure. So it looks like this is primarily a Psychic deck. Fair enough. I don't have a Darkness Energy yet to get out of my grave. Okay. So, let's put that there. And we'll Professor Sycamore. Losing a little bit more than we wanted to, but that can't be helped at this point. We're going to retreat into the Yveltal with the Muscle Band. Oblivion Wing for 50. And it will die on the return to his turn. So what we would really like to see here is a method of discarding those dark energies so we can power up that Darkrai. We got a rare candy. So what do we have here? I get it. Ensure. Ultra Toxic Feign, so he needs a Psychic Energy, which he has. Ooh. That could be interesting. 40 damage, sure, and I get poison to take a ton. He doesn't have any tools that I deem important. He has 5 cards in hand. If I end, I'll go to 4. So Shauna seems like the best play here. We can get another Darkrai down, a Hypnotoxic Laser, missing on the flip. And we'll go ahead and put a Muscle Band on the Yveltal that does not have, or I'm sorry, the Darkrai that has energy on it. So, if I stay in my current position, I will be knocked out. And I don't believe I have any, I have no dark energy in my grave. And this will be a chance to get some, especially with that Sycamore in my grave. So we'll deal 50. There are no valid cards, and that will go down. So an Yveltal will go up. And an interesting deck indeed. And a Team Plasma Ball. Probably going for a Crobat. I take it back. Very, very interesting. He's using those draw powers to try to get more Zubats out. The Evo Soda, no doubt, will go to evolve one of his Zubats. So this game is going to be a race. The Muscle Band on that Darkrai with 30 damage on it may turn out to be very key to this matchup. Okay, so he retreats to a Zubat, which can't do any damage. And the retreat cost on that is 0. Yeah. Okay. So I'm in. What do we got going on? Switch for the same damaged Zubat. Okay. It's unfortunate that I drew that Darkrai. Or, I'm sorry, that Raichu. I think Shauna is going to be my best play so that I can maintain that within my deck. We'll put a counter on that, and I think Yveltal EX is going to be our best hope in this game. So we get another 30 damage in. We're going to put that energy on my Darkrai. It will die between turns, and my opponent now has a 1 prize lead. Tough spot. So Skylink for a supporter that we won't be able to use for another turn. Sure. I got lucky enough to draw a Shauna. But not quite lucky enough to get myself out of this situation. So it looks like we're going to be retreating to an Yveltal with the hopes of ending next turn. So he draws his 3 cards from Sharon. Better make good use of them because I am planning to end. So he makes a Sigilif there. This is a tough spot. So when I end, I need a switch. And I did not get there by far, so my opponent is going to be taking a 2 prize lead very soon. I think my best play here is just going to be to end the turn. Another Sharon, sure. Sharon, sure. Nine cards in hand. Puts another energy on his Zubat engine, Crobat, and knocks out an Yveltal EX. And I have to be very careful here because I can't leave that Darkrai in the active spot. So let's see what we have left in our deck. Pikachu Raichu is definitely something that can allow us to win this game. Put an energy on an Yveltal and in Keldeo, Hypnotoxic Laser, Bicycle. Very, very good so far. So this is a lot of what I need in order to win. Not everything, but a lot of it. We end our turn here, and that Pokemon will die in between turns, so my opponent has only a 1 prize lead on me. So he's going to be using the Zubat to free retreat into something. Into a Sigilif that is prepared to attack my Yveltal EX, which could be perfect depending on what we have. So, let's go ahead and Professor's Letter. We have 1 Dark Energy. Oh, well, that was a waste. So this energy has to go into my Pikachu. And because of that misclick, I'm going to have to get rid of this Dark Patch and this Sableye in order to get the last Raichu out of my deck. I play that Raichu, and with 12 cards left in my deck, Sycamore. Beautiful. We could not have expected better from that. So what we can do here is power up another Darkrai. And it looks like my best gambit here is going to be to retreat into Raichu and give a Circle Circuit for a knockout. So we're now matched in prizes. My opponent brings forth a Zubat, fully planning to use something else. And we could be in trouble. The Raichu is the last card in my deck. Sableye's gone, Yveltal are gone. So if he plays this correctly, he could very easily pull out the win. But instead, he retreats into a Crobat with 130 hit points that does 40 damage. An interesting play, no doubt. So I will be promoting my Yveltal, adding a double colorless energy to it, using a Hypnotoxic Laser to ensure that we can get the knockout. If I Wise Cyclone, it won't be enough for the knockout. My opponent has 1 card left in hand, and I have 4 cards left in my deck. Looks like it's a good time to end. Yes. So knock him down so that he has the minimum possible options, and we'll put that forth. So with his 2 cards, he is, he got a Tiara now. So with his 4 cards, I would suspect that Sigilif is the play that he is going to go for. Now, are both of my Raichus in the discard? Yeah. Come on, let me see my discard. Hypnotoxic, sure, whatever. I have the Keldeo, so it's not going to be a knockout. Okay. And apparently it won't let me take a look at my discard. It'll let me take a look at my opponent's discard, so maybe mine now? No. Okay, so our best plan in this place is to put another energy on our Darkrai. We're going to Night Spear, which will do 0 damage to that. But then we have the opportunity to deal 30 damage to a Zubat. So let's see what our opponent can come up with here. That one Zubat knockout will win me the game, and it looks like my opponent has conceded. So 30 damage on the Zubat. I take the last prize, and there you go. Game Advantage Upset Award. Quite an upset, wouldn't you agree? But thank you for watching, and please like, comment, subscribe, and if there's anything else that you would like to see from my deck collection, please let me know.